Rahm Emanuel, okay, we'll accept your resignation immediately. Thank you. Please submit your resignation now, as you accepted the resignation of your former police chief, Gary McCarthy. Oh, by the way, Anita Alvarez, we'd like to see you at the microphone right now where you can verbally give your resignation. Listen, you know what? All of you guys, from Rahm Emanuel, who I don't know why you guys voted him back in office again. I know you didn't have many choices because you had this black dude who was like the black version of Donald Trump. He was a clown. And Chewy Garcia, that didn't work out. So still, Rahm Emanuel, you have lost the little confidence and trust that the few people in Chicago had. That is completely gone. You hired Gary McCarthy 4 years ago. And what's been going on in the Chicago Police Department, not just for the last 4 years, but for decades, is inexcusable. But you are accountable for what happened for the last 4 years. So listen, the best thing you could do is resign. I don't think that your ego will allow you to do it. You're a pretty narcissistic guy, you know, not quite as obnoxious and bombastic as Donald Trump, at least not in public. But behind the scenes, yeah, you're a piece of work. The jig is up. Not just black people, but Chicagoans in general. They're not going to fall for the con and the okie doke because you are insulting people's intelligence. There's no way in the world you could have if not saw the video, not known exactly what was on that video before the election last November. And then the runoff in April. So the bottom line is there was a cover up. Now that might be a strong word, but I mean, game recognized game, as the title of my book says. That's talking about relationships, but in life and in politics, game recognizes game, and people realize that this is just, and none of it makes sense. You claim you didn't want to tamper with the investigation, which is why the video didn't come out. That did not stop you from watching the video. So why didn't you watch the video? And, you know, listen, and here's the truth, that this crisis in confidence and lack of leadership, this is so much bigger than the police department. But when you got a kid walking away from a police officer who's executed in the middle of the street on 41st and Pulaski, 16 times, you shot him. Dude shot him like he was an animal, like a wild rabbit animal. But unfortunately, there are too many officers on that force that see young black men and all black men like rabid animals. Not all, not most. I've got friends that's on that police department right now. But there's an element in the Chicago Police Department and nationwide that sees black men as less than human, inferior, not even worthy of walking around on this planet. So Rahm, the jig is up. Please, Rahm Emanuel, please, the next time you step in front of a camera and a microphone, let that be your verbal resignation, along with Anita Alvarez and all the Chicago aldermen who saw or who knew what was on that video and still voted for the $5 million to be paid to the estate of Laquan McDonald. Because this problem is bigger than the police. You've got a crisis with the public school system. You closed 40 schools in black and Hispanic neighborhoods. But in the last 11 years, from 2004 to 2014, you paid out $500 million, $500 million, because of police misconduct. So just think about that $500 million and how many schools could have been saved and upgraded, and labs could have been put into schools, and teachers that you could have hired, or maybe even gotten more qualified teachers. Let's get some economic development. Let's get these kids. Let's go in Roseland and in Inglewood and in West Lawndale and in Auburn Gresham and get some of these corporations that you give incentives and tax breaks to open up businesses in other parts of the city, to go in, open up businesses, create jobs, create job training, partner with the high schools and the community college to teach these young people, give them skills so they can get jobs, they can become taxpayers, they'll be paying city taxes, they'll be buying homes, they'll pay property taxes, they'll be consumers, they'll feed the consumer economy, they'll buy homes and cars and refrigerators and washers and dryers, and they buy their mom homes to pay their rent and buy televisions and maybe send kids to private school and add to the local tax base. And let's reform the criminal justice system, and let's address housing and gentrification and income inequality. I could go on and on and on, but I'll stop. But Chicago, wake up Chicago. Rahm Emanuel's gotta go. Fire, hashtag fire Rahm Emanuel. I don't know if he can be impeached. I hope there's some lawyers there that's doing some research to find out if there's some legal way for him to be impeached. And for the aldermen who wouldn't go for the impeachment or accept his resignation, here's a warning to you. You got to choose either Rahm or your ass. It's his or yours. Because if you're part of the cover up and support him, next election, you will be voted out with Rahm Emanuel's ass. So the choice is yours. What are you going to do? Are we going to be part of the problem or part of the solution? Because if you're not part of the solution, you're part of the problem. I'm out.